So I guess we have completed the Windows automation here. So, obviously I have not, went through much of the steps. There were a lot of other steps which we could have done. I hope, some of you got some time to, automate those stuff, how to view order, then add an order in that exe file that I have provided. Okay, so now that we are done with this, what we can do is we can go ahead to the web automation part, and after that we discuss about exception handling and all of that. Okay. So I'm going to start about web automation. Any doubts in the Windows automation, guys? Did you try anything? Did you face any difficulty? Let me know. Everything is fine, right? Okay then.
I haven't been able to try Prem, so no doubts at this point in time. When I try, I will ask.
Okay. No problem. Whenever you try, you let me know. So I'm going to start the web automation part. Double click. So it's going to be mostly same like the Windows automation part, the way to open the application, the way to automate everything. Only thing is that the few of the attribute changes when we try to identify the element, and then the mode changes. The HTML mode comes into picture instead of Windows 32 mode. Okay, so let's see that. First, what we'll try to do is first we will automate Facebook. First, we'll try to automate Facebook.com with a very simple example. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and start with another web application. Then I'll provide you some examples, maybe task on how to do that. So I'm going to application modeler to in this we are trying to automate Facebook, so I need to application modeler to connect connect to the Facebook application. So application modeler. This I'm keeping the same name here. Go to next. So it's not a Windows application anymore. It's a browser-based application. Okay, because Facebook is something that will be launched from the browser. It's a browser-based application. Then click next. And here we have two options, a browser which is already running, a browser that is launched from an executable file. Okay, so we'll click this one, just like the Windows application automation. We provided the part of the exe file. Here also browser, we are relying on the browser which will be launched from an exe file. Go to next.
So Prem, one
and by default, yeah, go ahead.
So what I could understand from previous stuff that even if you automate this, everything has to be done on Internet Explorer because that's the best compatible with Blue Prism. Is that correct, or you can do it on Firefox or Chrome?
No, see, that is correct. We have to rely upon the Internet Explorer. The problem with Chrome or Mozilla, is that there may be few of the elements which you may not be able to identify correctly. Okay, so Mozilla and Chrome does not provide 100% reliability in terms of web automation. That is the reason we have to stick with Internet Explorer only. Blue Prism officially states that you need to stick with Internet Explorer in case of web automation.
Okay, so now you're going and selecting application modeler, you're selecting the Internet Explorer part.
No, Internet Explorer by default it will come here. Okay, so when I select it, browser that is launched from an exe file, by default this value will be there here. Internet Explorer part.
Okay.
I'm not browsing and selecting something. By default it is there. Okay. Yeah.
So I can try Chrome also, but it would not work 100%.
Yes, yes, yes. Chrome is not reliable. Okay, so let me try. Okay, we'll try Chrome later on. Let's complete this. I'll just show you Chrome or Mozilla how it happens. Okay. So yeah, so Internet Explorer is embedded here as the path. Then let's go next. Please enter the URL of your start page and any other command line parameter. So URL of our start page. So for example, I want to automate Facebook here. So let's provide facebook.com. Okay. And then go to next. And rest of the things I am just keeping it as blank. Okay. Enable Java integration technique, HTC component, embedded. This also I'll be putting it as default and finish. Okay. So that Java, then HTC, those are for one. So Java, a lot of websites use Java as a what I would say a plugin kind of stuff. So we are putting it as default. HTC component for maybe for mobiles and everything for performance improvement. So we'll put it as default. No need to worry what happens in those cases. Okay. We just need that which browser we are going to launch and which website so that we can automate that. So the first thing, so let me go to Facebook. So what we'll do very simple stuff. What we'll do, we'll provide our email ID, we'll provide our password, and we'll click on login. Okay. And as a next step, if you want, you can just go to drop down, and you also can log out also. Okay. This is just the first application in web automation, so I'm making it very simple. Okay. After that, we'll go to a complex application where we will discuss a lot of stuff. So, so what are the fields that I need? I need this field, email ID field, then I need password field, and then I need login field. Okay, 3 fields I need here to identify to be able to log into Facebook application. Right. So the first one, let's name it as email. Before that, let's launch the application. Okay, the application is launched. Now what we'll do is we'll just identify different properties of this application, identify, then same way, okay? Only thing is that when I click identify, it goes to HTML mode, okay? If I press Alt, there are other modes which were there, like Windows 32 accessibility, then median mode, and HTML mode. So we're going to rely upon HTML mode, okay? I'm not sure if I, pinged you. So I have uploaded the version 6 of the Blue Prism software. So you can go ahead and check the version 6 of the software if anyone of you interested. And in version 6, this HTML mode is changed to UI mode. Okay. This HTML mode is renamed to UI mode. So that if you are doing with version 6, that is the difference you may feel. So here it is the HTML mode, and because all these pages are made with HTML, that is the reason, this is HTML mode. We are going to get this field, then this field, and this button. Okay. So what I'm going to do, same one. I am just highlighting here, so I can just get any field. As you can see here, it is highlighting all of the field, all these buttons and everything. Okay. So I can get any of this field. So first I'll get email field. Okay, control, then left click. And I'll just click on this match. And as you can see, there is a lot of, matching this one. So we'll remove few. So I'm going to remove this empty spaces from here first thing, empty spaces. And then I'll also remove the parent URL. So always, remember to, remove the parent URL, because parent URL is something you cannot rely upon. Okay. So the most important stuff in HTML mode automation is there are 2 attributes you can rely more. One is the path. Always remember path is the most important, and ID. Apart from that, others are very less reliable. So unless and until you are not able to find that using path and ID, try to go to others like, input type or class name or something like that. Otherwise, your path and ID should be able to do almost everything. Okay. So this path is always unique. The path is always unique for each of the element, and then ID is also unique. Okay. So this path is the HTML document object model path. Okay. It's a DOM path. So for example, if I open Facebook here and press F12 on my keyboard for inspect. So this is not needed. This is not part of Blue Prism. I'm just showing you something, okay? How the path gets created. How this path got this value, I'm just showing you. And how this ID got this value, how this is got this value, I'm just explaining you about how each of the element gets this value, from where this comes from. So if we go to the inspect element and then select this button, okay, or this is called inspector. It is to inspect all of the elements. Select this and then click this. If you click this, you can see here, okay, you can see here what it is written. Input type equal to email, class equal to input text, name equal to email, ID equal to email, right? So input type equal to email. Let's check if we have an input type equal to email, and then what else I have? Class equal to input text, class name equal to input text. You see here, class equal to input text, and then ID equal to also email. So ID will also come as email. Okay. So this from here only Blue Prism is picking up the data. So this is the document object model. Either you can inspect or you can right click and go to view page source, and you can search from somewhere else. I don't know, this is like thousands of lines, so it's very difficult to search from here where is your attribute. So that is the reason you can take help of this inspect element. You can get the exact attribute whatever I'm trying. Okay, and then how this path gets calculated, this path that we are seeing, how does that get calculated is, you can use some tool like Firebug. There is something called Firebug. It will be like this, Firebug for Chrome, or if you are using Firefox, then Firebug for Firefox. And you can use this tool to get those values. Okay, I don't want to install that now. If you want, you can install that, and using that, you can basically get the path of this element. So how to reach to this element from the beginning. So I'll just tell you how that happens. So this is the HTML. Okay, this is the HTML. So first is HTML. Then what we have? Then body. Inside body, everything is there. See, this is HTML. It started with HTML. Then HTML has a body where all the content remains in the body only. Okay. Then the second is div. This div. So every div contains some data, and then we have 1, 2, div 2 mostly. Inside first div there is sub divs also. So div 2. Again inside div 2. I have inside this div, I have another div, like that. So I have div. I'm just taking some time to explain this. Then I have a form, then table, something like this. Form, table, then a row, tr, and then input, then inputs or some input. Okay, something like this. This is the way it reaches to the element. So there are a lot of elements. Starts from HTML, body, div 2, like this. It reaches to that particular email ID input field. Okay. So this path is always unique because you cannot reach to some other element if you follow this path. If you follow another path, you will reach to some other element. Okay. So this is the, one of the like most reliable way to identify an element in the web application. So this kind of value that you see here, HTML, body 1, div, and all this, form, table, tbody, here, ed input. So this is form by checking this from the hierarchy of the application, from where it is started and till the endpoint. Okay, this is what it is here. So that is the path, and that is always going to be unique for each of the elements. So that is 100% reliable. If you can remove others, that will work fine. If I remove tag name, parent URL. So parent URL, what is parent URL? Parent URL is the which URL it is referring to. So for example, for this parent URL is facebook.com. Okay. For example, for this page, this is the parent URL. Or if you go here, for this page, this is the parent URL. So basically, this link, this is the parent URL. This button, this is the parent URL. All the section in this page, this is the parent URL. So this parent URL is common for a lot of elements in the page. So this is something not reliable, and you should not rely upon this parent URL. Okay, that is the reason I always remove the parent URL. So the most reliable things stuffs here are the path and ID. Rest of the stuff, if you remove also, it will work fine. You can keep class name, that should be fine. But if you want, you can remove that also. So let's see. Let's click on the match column. This we are matching path, ID, and class name. Let's try to highlight it, and it's highlighting fine. This field, okay? It's getting this red out border box, so it's highlighting fine. So we are successful in identifying the email. Any doubts here? How do I identify? Are you clear on this? Okay. So I'm going to add another element. We are done with identifying the email field. This is the way to identify and get the email.
Prem, so sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
So why don't you use the parent URL, and can you just go on to the these three fields just?
Yeah. So where is the parent? Yeah. See, as you can see, parent URL is facebook.com. Okay, parent URL is facebook.com, and it's not needed. Okay, this value is not needed only because the parent URL, so which URL it is referring to, which page you are on. So you are on Facebook page, okay. So this parent URL is same for this and everything, okay. Everything this parent URL is same. For example, instead of when we'll identify the password and this, you will see the facebook.com as the parent URL, the same value. So this is not providing us something unique by which we can uniquely identify any of the attribute. Parent URL is same for every element in this page. Okay, so that is the reason we should not take parent URL as a unique identifier. You got my point? Any doubts here, Arun?
That's fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So that is the reason, always remember path and ID. These two basically, path and ID are the unique one, and with this you can get anything. You can identify anything, any elements. Okay. So I'm adding another element called password and identify, and I need to go to HTML mode. So also remember that you can mix also different modes. You can mix also based on the requirement. So for example, if I'm not able to spy something, so this field I was able to spy in HTML mode. However, there are a few fields which I'm not able to spy through HTML mode, and I need that. Okay, so you can choose another mode for automation. For example, this mode is HTML mode. However, if something you are not able to automate something, you are not able to find out something, then you can go ahead and check the accessibility mode if it is working. So accessibility mode normally works well with the Windows 30 because Windows 32 mode application cannot automate few of the steps. Last time the example we saw is that the VLC application you are talking about and the Windows Media Player. So there it was very helpful. So if any situation arises like that in case of your web application where HTML mode is not sufficient to find out a field, then go ahead and use the accessibility mode. But like most of the time, you'll be able to you'll be able to use the HTML mode because all these elements are one HTML elements. All of these have one ID. All of them have a path in the application. So you should be able to do it. Anyway, let's go ahead and identify the password. Control and left click. As you can see, for password also, the parent URL is facebook.com. So any element in this page that you are going to use, you will get the facebook.com as the parent URL. So this is like not useful at all. Okay. So, remove this. Do not use this. And I am removing the blank value. I am removing everything apart from path and ID. Okay. This is the path and this is the ID. This you can also get by right click and inspect element, and you will get the same stuff. This is the Internet Explorer identified. ID equal to pass. Okay. So this field I got from here with path and ID. Let's highlight this. It is highlighting fine. Okay. So only element needed here is the login. So I'm going to add element, login button, identify, then the login button. Control and left click. So let me just inspect a little bit here. Okay. Okay, so one thing what I was checking here is, as you can see here, let me highlight it, let me identify it again. So how to, suppose for example, I thought that, this is wrong. This whatever I have, I identified is wrong, and I want to, identify the button again. What should I do? I will be clicking on the identify button again, and it will tell me that do you want to replace it? You have already identified the element with these attributes. Do you want to replace it? I'll just click yes here, okay? And as you can see here, I'm just identifying the, this is what, Chrome? Okay, this is Chrome, I guess. As you can see here, what is the problem with Chrome? Okay, let's just discuss that also. You see, the Chrome is not identifying it properly. You see, somewhere else it is coming. The email ID is not coming properly. The password is not coming properly. See, it should be like, it should come properly. So these are the problems you may run into if you, go for Chrome. You see here, if I want to identify it using Chrome, it is not identifying it properly. Okay. So see, I cannot identify also the date, then month and year separately. It's coming as total, a whole big line it is coming. However, if I go to Internet Explorer, okay, what is happening here? Okay, maybe some mistake, everything. Okay, let me override it again and we'll check. So, okay, before that, so these are the kind of problem you'll face if you try to, okay, it's not coming only now, like the button is not coming, the hover button. So as you can see, you will face into different problems using Chrome. So either it will not highlight this field, you will not get a border at the complete this input tag, or here it may be half of the field, it may not identify a few of the fields, and even if it identifies, for example, half of the field is identified, so it is not, you are not sure that you are entering into the correct field. Okay, so these are some of the kind of problems you face here. And also, if you go to Mozilla, most probably the Firefox, you'll be most probably seeing some behavior like this. So that is the reason, the Internet Explorer is recommended by Blue Prism, and they support that browser also. So they have developed different components to support the Internet Explorer browser. So let me, identify that again. Okay, these buttons are also disabled. Yes, and then I'm not sure what happened. Okay. It came. So you have to be certain here. So it is coming fine now. Okay. However, if you go to Chrome, you'll face some difficulty, for automating few of the parts. And also, it is coming as a whole text box. However, in other browsers, you may face like here and there stuff. It may not come as this complete. It is coming as this complete text box, and it's covering the whole, perimeter of this, new password or mobile number, whatever. Okay. So what we'll be doing is the login button. So now, as you can see, the problem with login button is, I'm not sure if it is visible that much. There is a small, this border on login, on the text login, and if I go outside, there is something in the outside also, inside and outside. So how exactly will I know which login to, identify? There is one login at the outside border. There is a login at the inside also. So first, if I take the outside login, which is the whole login button, let's see what we are getting. Login, I'm control and left click. I'm getting these attributes. Okay, I'm getting all this. Okay. So, okay. So I'm getting all these attributes, and as you can see here, type. Let's go to input type is blank, and it ends with label. Okay. So I'm not sure if you can understand the HTML language here. So the label normally is for writing something. So that login is written, right? That is for label. For input, there will be, for input, there will be a tag actually, input. So here we don't have that. Okay, let's compare the difference. Here what we have, tag name is label, and this ending with label, and then input type is blank. So normally what happens, the input type remains submit. So we are submitting a form. This is a form. This is a form, and we are submitting a form here. So it becomes input type equal to form. However, it's not here. So I would say that to get that difference, you may need to have a little knowledge in HTML. I would say in such cases. Otherwise, what you can do is you can try is the first one. For example, the outer one we have taken. You can go. You can go ahead and try with this. If this does not work, then you can always go ahead and identify and get the inner one. So if, for example, in our real example, it did not work. So what I'll do, I'll identify, go to yes, and I'll take the inner one, this one, the inner login button. Right. So let me take the inner login button, control and left click. And here, the input type equal to submit, and then everything is there. However, the other one was different. So let's do one thing. If, for example, I don't know which one to take, I'll take this one, and if in actual example you could not click on that, I'll come here and I will just override and change it to the outer box. You understood it? How to how to know exactly that which one to take? So you can consider it as a hit and trial. Okay, there is no definite answer here. So parent URL I'll remove. So ID and path. So apart from that, I can remove it.
So Prem, basically what you're essentially trying to say, in HTML, the box is login, which you need to click, that is a button, and inside which there is a label which is being placed called login. So you need to actually select the button, not the label.
Yeah. So yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that is what I'm telling. But this is one of the case. Okay. This case that I told you, there is a label, there is a button. There can be different scenario. Okay. So this scenario may not be same here, and that scenario may not be same here. You can go into such scenario like thousands of times when you are performing a web application automation. Okay. All this activity may be a little different when you go to gmail.com or to amazon.com. So what you need to do, if you do not understand, if you do not have HTML knowledge, how the these tags are written, how the HTML gets rendered and how it is written, then always what you can do, you can take the first one, try that. If it does not work, then take the second one. That's it. You can do a hit and try. But over the time, you will understand what type of tags work and what type of does not. Okay. Initially, if you are not if you do not know about HTML, you can go ahead with that. Either you can take the inner one, which is working fine, then that's good. Otherwise, if it is not working while you're running that, come here and just override it to the outer one. Okay.
Okay.
That level is one of the scenario. It can be anything. It can be text or anything. You got the point?
Yeah, I understood, Prem. So that means how applications have been written. So like Facebook, this has been written in this way. So Flipkart might be written in a different manner. Do you get my point?
One second. No. See, the way to write is it depends upon developers to developers. Okay. The way the HTML pages are developed is they will be the primary are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and most probably they will be using different frameworks. Like Facebook uses React.js, is a JavaScript framework. Google uses AngularJS as a JavaScript framework. Okay, there are Vue.js. There are a lot of frameworks. Okay, Knockout and all of that. So mostly it will be same, but there are a lot of tags which can be used. Okay, instead of input type, they can use something else. They can use some other stuff. So it again depends upon the developers how they use it, but most probably it will be same. Like 80-90% of the time, all the developers around the world, they follow the same structure, but few of the websites may use some different frameworks and all. There you'll be somewhere you'll be getting some dynamic ID, somewhere you'll be getting something else. So in dynamic ID, suppose for example, what happens? There is a concept of dynamic ID. So every time your page launches, the ID may change. So as you can see here, we are relying upon the ID. So this ID may not be same when you are coming here and launching the application. So that time it will fail. So you will know that, okay, the ID is not same now. So that is the reason it is failing. I'll just, remove the ID. I'll just rely upon the path. Okay, it may happen like that. Or maybe after a year or so, Facebook, what it is doing, this is the path we are following, right? This path we are following. So for example, Facebook introduces one phone number field here. Okay, phone number, email, and then password. Instead of email or phone number, email, and password to log in. So your path will change. With this path that you are find out, input 1, it may be input 2 now, because if input is at second place. So that may change. So these are the kind of things you run into when you do the web application. So what happens is that in future, if the website is changing and the layout of the website is changing, then your the application that you have automated may fail in some of the scenarios. So if someone is asking what are the disadvantages you faced while automating a web application, you can answer this. That first thing is that it relies only upon the Internet Explorer, not on other browsers. Second thing is that we're completely depending upon the structure of the web application. If the structure of the web application changes, our the workflow that we have written will fail, so we have to change it. So these are some of the disadvantages also. Okay, you got the point?
Yes, Prem.
Okay, so let's go ahead with this email ID, password, and login button. And if it is not work fine, then we'll come here and change it. So now that I am done with identifying everything, what I will do is I'll just enter value here. Start entering my username and password and just click on the login. So as I have told you before, how to navigate to this application by using a navigate stage. So what we'll do is that, let me close this, and this is the application modular that we are using. So what I will do is that, so I'm not going to create multiple pages here. Ideally, what I should do is that I should create one email page, then password page and login page, and then connect everything from the Process Studio, right? So that is something I'm not going to do here. That is the best practice you should follow. I'm going to do everything here only. So go to navigate. I'll perform all the activity here only in the Object Studio. So first I'm going to navigate. On navigate we are going to use the element, the parent element, and we'll name it as launch app, action at launch. And then what we need, what is the second stage that we are going to do? Once the website is launched, we are going to write the email ID and then the password. So which stage we should use? Write stage, because we are going to write it to the application. Okay. So two write stage, one is to write a username, one is to write the password, then another navigate stage to click on the login button. Understood? One is to launch the application, write username, write password, click on the login button. That's it. So here, write username. So let me make it write email. So I'll just provide my email here. So with double quotes, or my username is also fine. And then which element I want to enter into? I want to enter into email element, right? Then the second step is to enter the password. So what I will do is that I will take a data item, name it as password, data type is password, and I'll just enter my password here. Then write password. Use the password field here for in element and value as password, and then navigate. We'll put login button, action as click center, because we are going to click once only. Click on the center. We're not going to do a double click or something. Click login and click OK here. Then connect everything, start, launch app, write email, write password, click login and end. Then reset and then just run this. Okay, we are going to run this. So run, start, launch app. So it is launching the application. Then writing the user ID, writing the password, and clicking on the login button. But as you can see, it could not click on the login button. Let's see, as now it could not click, so it means that we have identified the wrong one. we have identified the inner one. That is the reason it is not able to click. As you can see, fail to perform step 1 in navigate stage, click to log in on page 1, no elements match the supply query item. So it is not able to click the login button. So in the click login state. Okay, so let's go ahead and change it to the outer one and see if we are able to do that. So I'm going to close this and reset. Going to application modeler, going to login button, and let's launch it to override that. And now let's highlight which one. Okay, I guess the ID is dynamic. That is the reason. Let me check the ID once. Right click, inspect element. U02. What we have taken is U03. Okay, so the ID here is dynamic. So let's not rely upon the ID. So I'm going to remove the ID, only path and input type. So this is what I was talking about. In web application, everything, a lot of things can be dynamic. So path and input type. Then try to highlight. It is highlighting. Find the inner one. Let's see if it is able to, the automated the inner login button. Otherwise, we'll come here again and take the outer one. What I'm doing here is I'm still taking the inner one, but only remove the ID here. You understood the point? What I am doing here? Why I am doing here? So again, run the same. And let's see what is happening. Email ID, password. Okay, it's clicking on the login button. It's working fine. Okay, so that was the problem. You saw what the problem was. The inner button was fine. The only thing is that we took the help of an ID. However, the ID was dynamic. So initially, the ID was U03. However, when we launched it, the ID was U02. Okay, so the ID is not unique, every time. So I just removed that, and it got working. Any doubts here?
No, Prem.
Okay. Okay then. So then that's fine then. So what you can do as a next step is that from here, once once you have logged in, then what you can try to do as a homework is that you try to click this button. Okay, this is I'm providing you a homework. Click this button and then click the logout button. Okay, so this is going to be the same stuff. Okay, nothing like you have to identify this drop down button and then use a navigate stage to click that. After that, once this logout appears, then find out all the attributes of logout also, and then use a navigate to click this also. So 2 more steps you have to do. After launching, you have to click this and then click this logout, and you should log out your application. Fine. This you can take as a homework.
Okay. So Prem, identifying images and stuff, like in this, we will learn after in the next class or something like that.
Identifying images.
So inside application Facebook, like say I want to identify this video or play this video. Okay, or say I want to download all the images. So I have 10 images.
So the thing is, yeah, so that is not, I'm not sure how that is something will work with Facebook, because these are the stuff that is, a lot of these stuff are like, dynamic. So this video that you are seeing here, it may not be here like next time I log into Facebook. Okay, so to automate Facebook, for example, you may see some challenges, a lot of dynamic value. So you have to check if the divs that are coming here, how they are. So let me do this. For example, let's try to do one thing. First, let me put some content here automatically. And how that is happening, let me check. So if I want to automatically post something here, okay, I want to automatically post something here, let me check that. And then we'll see about how to get the content. And again, so if you want to control something, for example, if I want to, click on the pause button here and then click it again here. But the problem is that the next time Facebook launches, this video will not be there here. This video will not be there at the first position. And if you are trying to click on the pause or resume button, then your application will fail because these buttons will not be present here. You understood my point?
Okay, so my question is not to this application only. Like, say, if I want to go to Flipkart and I want to look at
yes. So there we can do there we can automate. So for example, let's take a static value here. How that is happening. So for example, I want to click here. Okay, on click here, then this is getting popped up and I can directly write something. So I can do this and then I can click on the post and everything I can do. All of these are static. Okay, all of these are static, and like I can do everything here. So the only thing is that the sending something from the keyboard. So for example, what I'm doing here. So this is obviously I am identifying that, but I have to send a key here. What is the key? The left mouse click I have to send here. Okay, so we'll discuss all of that later, how to send keyboard. So I'm doing a click here. Okay, so how to send the different mouse clicks, how to send the keyboards and everything we'll see here. So for example, let me add another element and identify. Let's see what of the parts of Facebook homepage are we'll be able to identify. Okay. HTML mode. So I'm able to identify, each of these fields. I'm able to identify each of the fields. So everything will work fine. So for example, if I want to get this text, I'll be able to, but the thing is that next time it will not be there, so it will fail. Otherwise, I can just take it and put it in a, read state. Okay. So here again, two things where I am exactly pressing here. Okay. So there are two steps here. First, one click here. You have to take this. Once it is clicked here, it is coming here. So we have to, provide some right state. You got the point. So we have to identify this element, click on that, and once we click on that, it will come here. So what we can do is again write something through right state, and then identify this one. Identify this post only. As you can see, there are again different posts. One is small, one is the inner, and one is outer. So you can again take the post and click on the post to navigate. So all of this can be done. Okay, the static things can be done, but again the dynamic value, this will here, if you're trying to do something, it will fail. You got the point. As you can see here, this grid you can take, the total grid. One grid, this is one grid. This post is one grid. So what may happen is that instead of this post, another post may come, but that is fine. We are identifying the total post. And see, this advertisement also, this total post you can take. So obviously this circle CI and this is going to change, but if you take this total, then it may be a success, because instead of this total circle CI and automate your build deploy process, something else can come here. So anyway, whatever you take, it will come here. So again, we have not seen automation of images and how to get this text out of images. We'll see that. For example, I want to take this image, take the snapshot of this image and get this text out of this image. We'll see everything. But just understand that, you cannot, automate dynamic stuff. And for example, if I want to automate this button here or this here, it will fail the next time Facebook launches. However, everything else, the static stuff that you are seeing, then that all of those you can do. Okay, you got the point?
Yes, Prem, kind of. So, if you can take an example of, Amazon or Flipkart.
Yes. So what I will do is I will take an example of Flipkart. Okay. So there is another instructor. Okay. So okay, this is the plan. Okay. Let me just close this. Okay. Okay, so there is another instructor. So what I'm going to request him is that, so I'm going to cover most of the basic stuff. Okay, whatever I am covering, so I'm going to cover the basic stuff. So for example, currently we are seeing the web automation, right? So I will take another example of web automation, and that example is publicly available in the internet also. So I'll take that example because that is the best explanation that I have seen. And after that, inside that only I will explain exception handling, then work queue, and then we have few of the server configuration also. Then we are kind of done with this basic this one. Then there are other stuff, so I'll explain everything. So Java automation, mainframe automation, I'll show everything. But there is another instructor which I am going to invite to this panel. So what I am doing is that I will ask him to take 1 week of class. So for example, both Saturday and Sunday. So what he will do is he is going to show some of the advanced stuff. So all of the Flipkart and everything that you are seeing, there is a complete end-to-end, demo of everything with code and with everything. So you can import that also. So, and Jitu is here. Jitu, you are on the call? I'm not sure. So there are a lot of stuff like, surface automation, then, Citrix automation. Yeah. So you are asking about the surface. Okay, I'm not sure what it is saying, some input and all. So, he is going to explain all of that stuff. So I'm going to cover, around 80% of the stuff, but I would request him to show some very real-time use cases, how actually the requirement comes to the project. Then when a requirement comes, then what happens? What part goes to business analyst, what part goes to manager, what goes to a developer, then how to actually start, projecting things. So for example, we provide the timeline, how to do that. We'll cover everything, but so I'm going to invite him for this and all of the advanced stuff that you see. And if any of you want to include anything in this in the further lecture, for example, Jitu told me yesterday that he wants some surface automation, or Citrix automation guide. Okay, Citrix automation. So we'll include that. So if any of you want some topic, then let me know. I will arrange those topics. If it is advanced level, then let me know also. I'll arrange that. And during the end of this course, another instructor that I'm inviting is going to cover everything. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And so he has a lot of demo projects. So for example, the Flipkart website, Arun, you are mentioning. The Flipkart website, the total automation, it will take a lot of time. For example, Flipkart.com we went, and then the first thing we do is that it is most probably pop up a login screen. So first you need to enter here, the login screen, then click on login. Then for example, I'm going to search for Adidas shoe. Okay, Adidas shoe in men's shoe or something. I'm going to search for Adidas, then click enter, for example. So this enter that I clicked here, this is again a different, separate part. So we have not talked about passing enter, tab, backspace from the keyboard. We'll cover this, okay? So once, it is clicked, then for example, I want to take all the, most of the Adidas shoe information and maybe write it to some Excel sheet, okay? So this, at least, if not the detail of it, at least I want to, take the name of the shoe and the price and the rating. So that, and maybe I can sort by rating in my Excel sheet and do all of that stuff instead of doing it here. So This thing is going to take some time, and if you want, you can, try this at home. I'm going to, explain some other website, which is a publicly available website. However, this step you can try in the meantime, and we'll provide you a complete solution to this. And the instructor, when he comes, he will be going to, explain end-to-end of this and provide you the solution of use cases. Okay. So what we are planning to do is that we'll be taking one of the use case like, Flipkart or Amazon or something, any one use case, and we'll provide a end-to-end description of the project. So for example, if this requirement comes to my company at Flipkart automation, then what I do not jump to Flipkart.com website and start automating with HTML mode, right? So I'll be documenting of the stuff. I'll be making some Excel report. Then how do I handle the change request? How do I get started with the requirement gathering? Then what are the elements that is needed? What are the different layers of automation? So here with application, then Excel sheet, then some database. I need to document everything, then get started. So we'll take one example. It can be either Flipkart or Amazon or one such, big website. And by keeping that website in mind, we'll be showing you the complete end-to-end automation and everything related to that website, just as a real-time project, gets done in industry. Okay?
So, Prem, one use case is, what happens is now like Flipkart and Amazon, have several vendors that they have. When vendors, upload this information, and Flipkart, Amazon has outsourced this to, back-end providers. And what they do is basically they go ahead and check the attributes. So these are called, attributes. So there is SKU. SKU is basically a stock keeping unit. So Adidas shoe number this kind Helkin is basically a stock keeping unit, and this stock keeping unit, has say 200 attributes which are there. So what essentially it does is, you will download everything with respect to the attribute and identify what problems are there. So basically, if say I am an outsourcer and I have a company, this is what an interview that I attended, and this can be a very good use case for e-commerce. So like say I am somebody, doing a back-end project, project for Flipkart. They are a company, where what they want us to do is they want to verify all the images that are being uploaded by the vendors and all the products that are being uploaded, so that, they get products which are SEO searchable and which are, with good image and stuff. So for this, first I have to, get an Excel sheet from them with all the details, or I will have to, scrape the website and, understand exactly what is there, how it is there, and then see what attributes I need to change. So, this automates, once you do this kind of, automates and lets you skip that first step of basically employing that many number of people to, get these details and get that sorted out.
Okay, understood. Okay. So, see, something like that can be done, but, maybe whatever you are telling, whatever you told, it may happen that if we consider that as 100%, then 70 to 80% of the stuff can be, automated. Okay. So again, we need to make a plan before starting to automate an application. So for example, what I'm doing is that, you are talking about SEO, right? What SEO searchable images, right? That is the word you used, right?
No. For simple example, like say, I'm a vendor like Flipkart, okay, and I have one big back-end provider. He doesn't have the time to upload proper images and proper stuff. So either he'll give it to me in Excel sheet or he'll upload it. But as a quality check, what I have to do is, I have to verify. So if I have 100 Adidas shoes that, I'm uploading, how do I know the quality of image is the 1024 by 68, 78 pixels that I want? Then, whether the description is 200 words, then, whether the attribute that I'm looking for, if he's written minimum 50 attributes and stuff. So if you go...
Okay, understood.
Yeah, let me take an example of a washing machine. Yeah, so washing machine has industry standards. It has some height, length, width, then, specifications and stuff. So when I upload this product on Amazon as a vendor, Amazon needs to ensure that it has quality. That's the
Yes.
only way, the vendor will get credit and the product will be searchable, and my customer, when he comes, will be good enough. So
Yes, understood.
that's what I'm trying to
Yeah,
do.
Arun, I understood the requirement. What I was telling you that, so in your case, most of the stuff that you told are, we can automate that. For example, take the product description, how many words are there, then what are the attributes are there. Compare the list of attributes with a set of standard attributes. Is it matching this, features and all? We can do that, okay? So there can be, what I was telling is that there can be few features we may not be able to automate. For example, we may try that. For example, I'm taking this image, for example. So once I take this image, what I have to do is that I have to use a region mode to take the image. So taking the image is fine. Then checking the quality of the image, how many pixels that is, and is that pixel suitable, that in those cases we may face some difficulty using Blue Prism only, the quality of the image, okay? So in those cases, either, we have to intervene manually to check the quality, because what you need to do is, if it is possible, then we can do. So for example, if I take this image, for example, let's take this image. So if this image has some attributes, right? So I have to save it somewhere. For example, let's save it in the desktop. So from where I will get this one is, I have to right click and go to properties, and from there, here in the details I will get 433 into 364 and these pixels. But I'm not sure if this is the standard. So if you can, set the standards of the image also, we can check the quality of the image. Otherwise, there will be few of the stuff in the total workflow. It may happen that 80% of the stuff we can automate completely. However, 10 to 20% of the stuff we need to manually intervene to check, okay, this is fine, then, let it pass. However, rest of the stuff we can automate, okay? So the scenario that you are taking, or we have to take the help of some external, programming source for evaluating few of the stuff apart from Blue Prism, but those things can be done, okay? And that is a very good use case, but whatever we have in place, for example, we do not have the Amazon or the Facebook backend application available to us. So what we will automate is whatever we see, as a user to ClickCart, we'll try to automate that workflow, and you may, you can extend it to any application that you want from your end. Okay.
Okay, so one example, can you take, like, say, frequently, like, say, I want to fly to, certain destinations. So, can you log into one specific website, like, say, Skyscanner, and get me the prices,
Okay.
put this input date and get me the prices for this date range. Can we, try that kind of an example?
Okay, so you want to see here, and then search. So for example, Mumbai, then search, then wait here, and you want to take all of this data, right?
Correct.
Yes, we can try that. We can try all of this, but okay, let's try this. Let's see, how far we are going, and if we are stuck somewhere, then I'll, check later. So let's try to do this, okay? Let's see what is happening. So which website gives us a better listing? Is Make My Trip Gives, or
no, Skyscanner, does everything. Or I recently booked a ticket. So, what I do is I check on Skyscanner, and then, I go to other websites to check on discounts. And then, from there, I book those tickets. So, say, suppose I want to book a ticket to, say, Delhi, from Kolkata to Delhi or Kolkata to Dehradun. So, that takes one stop. And, I want to find out the shortest flight route. Okay, so this gives me a filter on top which says the shortest flight route. Okay, in Skyscanner, that is one, which is a standard feature. It is not something that changes. It is basically filters. It gives you the filters.
Okay.
What kind of filter that you can do? The shortest route, or one stop, or two stops, or cheapest price. If you look at the price and this one on the right side, you can see that's a filter basically. So, say suppose I want to book
Filters.
my tickets. This is for my own purpose. Like say I want to, check. Okay, so in December I want to fly out to say Darjeeling, or I want to go to say Kerala to have a holiday trip. So, I want to check what are the
Okay.
flight prices. So probably I want to check which is
Okay,
the
okay.
cheapest route and stuff. So for my purpose, if I can, automate that and write a script, so I don't have to go to 5 websites and, check all the prices, just automate one flow and then get that
Yes,
done.
yes, understood. Okay, let's try to, automate that. And again, the script part you are that talking. So we're not going to, write, we'll not write any script here. So what we'll do is that we'll see, how much Blue Prism can automate. Okay. And based on that, obviously, a lot of stuff in web automation may not be possible by Blue Prism. And there either we may need to write some Python script or something. But let's see first how much we are able to automate. So, which website you are trying to Skyscanner or Make My Trip? Which one we'll take? We'll take any example, and then we'll find out.
Yeah, let's take Skyscanner, because Skyscanner has all the details of every website. So it searches many websites and then gives you the information.
Okay, fine then. So let's do that. Let's take this, and so what we'll do is that we'll go to this Skyscanner first, okay, and then we will click on we'll write something here. We'll write something here. Then we'll search flights, and then we'll wait for some time because the div is taking some time to load, and then we'll pick some information from here. Let's try to do this and see how far we are going. So Skyscanner, I'm copying the URL. And okay, so Facebook application you understood, right? So in Facebook application, this is what we have done successfully, the login button and everything. What I want you guys to do is that click on that drop down menu and try to log out. Okay, just extend this application, take this as a homework. Just click on the drop down button that on the right side once Facebook you are logged in, and then click on the logout button, and you should be able to complete the flow of both login and logout. Okay, this is something you should do. So two more fields. The caret button there on the top, that's called caret button in HTML language, and the logout button. Two fields you need to identify and automate. So I'm going to close this application, Facebook application. I am going to save this. And then let's create another web application folder. So let's name it as Skyscanner. Click next, and then double click on that. Go to application modeler, then click next, and it's a browser-based application. Click next. The browser that is launched from an exe file. Then click next. Internet Explorer, and then URL is, I guess I have copied it, skyscanner.co.in. Click next, and we'll put everything to default. Okay. Then I'm going to close this one, the Chrome here, and launch it. Okay. Once it is launched, what I will do is that I will input some value. For example, okay, Bangalore to Kolkata. CCU.
Hi, sir.
Okay.
Jitu.
Sorry?
Hi, this is Jitu. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Jitu, tell me.
Prem, is there a way that, the example that you're talking about right now, the data field, would it remain constant always? I mean, if we automate this particular process, in place of from, it will always be Bangalore, and in place of to, it will always be Kolkata. Is there a way we can keep it open? I mean, I'm just trying to understand that. Will it always work for Bangalore to Kolkata, the Blue Prism that you create?
I didn't understand. what you are asking here, see, I can write anything here. So initially, I want, Bangalore to Kolkata. If I want Chennai to Kolkata, then I have to write Chennai here and Kolkata here. Are you asking like what exactly you are asking?
I will have to create a different element altogether?
No, the element will be same, but I'll be using a write stage, right? So in that write stage, whatever value I have, that will come here. Okay. Yeah. So if I have to write Bangalore, it will be LR. If I have to write something else, it will be something else. Okay.
So
this is completely dynamic.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. This is dynamic. This is completely dynamic. The value is completely dynamic. So first, let's take the from and to location. So what I will do is that let's do one thing. Let's keep it side by side so that it will be easy for us. Okay. Then element 1, let's make it the from and click on identify. And it is highlighting fine. As you can see, HTML more, everything is highlighting fine. So control and left click, and we got all this value. So same way, I'm going to remove the title, tag name, path I'll keep, parent URL I'll remove, input type, everything I'll remove apart from ID and this one, tag name. As you can see, one more thing here. Do you see the class name here? So what do you guess here? This is a completely dynamically generated class here. BPK input 3HJJ. We don't understand what this is. FCK dot first above mobile and all of this. This is a completely dynamically generated class here. So these kinds of class names, it mostly depends upon programming languages, and I guess this is written in React. So there is a language called React and by Facebook, that framework. So I guess that is most probably written by that, and they have dynamic class name. And if you rely upon this class name, it will most probably change the next time you log into you come to the Skyscanner website. Okay, and you may get some error. So I would say don't rely upon this any dynamically generated value. So we faced one issue with Facebook login because it changed from 3 to 2 or something like that. So I'm not relying upon the class name also. First reason is that normally I don't rely upon the class name, and because class name remains same for most of the attribute in the web page. So class name can be same for many attributes. And second reason is that it is dynamically generated. Okay. So I'll only stick with path, then link I'll remove this empty field, so it is not doing any good to me. So path and ID, and let's try to highlight. It's highlighting fine. The second item that I'm going to get is the to field. So add element to only 2. Okay. So actually, you should make it a little bit, I would say, the naming specification from and to, it doesn't make sense. So you can write from location and to location. That way it will be, it will make much sense. So in most of the projects that you do, try to make the name related. So someone can relate to what is actually happening. You should not, write from as, search or date, because from is a from. So when someone sees it, from the naming convention only, he should be able to know what exactly this application is doing. Okay, so name it as from location and to location. For the time being, I'm just keeping it short. Identify, then control and left click over here. Okay, and then same way remove the ones that does not help us to path and ID. Highlight. It is highlighting fine. Okay. So if you want to extend the application, you can go ahead and, so for example, I want to click this. For example, Bangalore to Kolkata I did. As a third element, I want to exchange the Kolkata and Bangalore. So you can go ahead and click this. I'm not taking this. I'm just straightforward Bangalore and Kolkata, and I'm going to search you flight. Okay.
And then can you also do it one way instead of return on top? Return journey instead of that, can you do that one way? Can you add that one element also?
One way? Okay, okay, fine. So, and let's make it as radio. And okay, one second. Let me delete this. Add element, then identify. So there are two options here. One is for only this, one is for the whole one. So let's take the whole one way first. We'll try to click this, and let me check in Chrome how that works. Oh. So there will be a lot of steps in HTML. Okay, why this identify? Okay, if I click one way, it is changing. So I can take the whole one way instead of this. Let's take the whole one way and we'll try to click on that. If it doesn't work, we'll take the radio button. So identify, and then control left click, and then remove the unnecessary one. ID also blank, so we have to rely upon the path only in this case, I believe. Try to highlight it, it's highlighting fine. And let's name it to one way. And then, so basically what we can do here in these cases is, so I'm not taking these dates and all. So basically what you will do in date cases is that instead of, going here and identifying this and this, what you can do is do not do any of this, simply write something else. Simply write, if you want to search for September, for example, 2018, write a value of 01/09/2018. That's it. And here write some value of, September value. Okay, and if you want, just write the value. Do not click here and do not try to come here. It is going to be, it's too much work for you. Just write whatever value you want, whatever date you want. Just put a right stage and write to this piece. Okay. Now that we have made it one way, what I will do is that I'm going to search flight. So it is identifying properly this one. So control and left click. And then I'll just tag name is button, so it should be fine. We can keep this tag name as button because this is a button. Parent URL and all this empty stuff I will remove. ID is empty, class name I don't rely upon. So with this two, I can obviously go ahead with path only, but so it is highlighting fine. So once, let's see if we are able to, let's name it as search flights. Let's see if we are able to do this far, then, we'll come here and identify a few more and append it to the application. So from to one way and then search flight. So either we can click the one way now, first step, or later on also. So first what I will do is that I will, rename the page to Skyscanner, and then I will launch the application. Which stage I need for launching? Navigate. Okay. So put a navigate stage, double click, and name it as launch app. Here I'll put Skyscanner. And then perform action as launch. Click OK. So it gets launched. Second thing is that I need to click on the one way. So what I will do here is I'll also put a navigate state for clicking here. Let's see how that turns out. Launch, and then one way. Click center. Okay, I'm just okay, single click only. Okay, so single click, click center, click on one way, and then click OK here. The second is that we are going to write from and to location. So let's search from Bangalore is already there by default. So what we will search from Kolkata to, for example, MAA. Okay, Kolkata to Chennai will search. So Chennai is MAA. So what I'll do is I'll put to right stage now because I'm going to write to value here from and to. So put to right stage. One right stage for that. One right stage for this one.
Prem, so sorry to interrupt. So click one way. You clicked on center, is it? The click one way.
Yeah, I have click center. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure. Let's try this. Let's try how it will work, that click center. Otherwise, we'll find some other way. So, first, I'll write to the from location, the element. What value I'll be writing? What is the code MAA, right? So, let's try MAA. Instead of Chennai MAA, if I write the only MAA, it should take Chennai. Okay, I'm hoping that. So, let's try to enter that. And then in the to location, which is 2, the value, the Kolkata is CCU. Kolkata is CCU, so let's try to write CCU here and click OK, and then search flight. So another navigate stage for searching, so double click, element as search flight and click center. Okay, this I showed there, Arun, click center.
Okay.
And name it as search flights and just click OK here, and then let's connect everything. Close this also, reset and run. So Chennai to Kolkata, we are searching for the flights, right? Yes. No. Okay, one way it clicks. Okay. So one way it clicked fine, but it searched for Bangalore to everywhere. It did not took the value well for Chennai and Kolkata. Okay. So the default one was Bangalore and it was everywhere. So it took.
I think should we use the pause, pause and wait, so that, when you enter MAA here, it takes time to identify, because that page, when you write MAA here, the page will take time to identify MAA and then input that value. Hello, Prem? Hello?
I think his call got disconnected.
Okay. Yeah, okay, thank you. I think he joined again.
Yeah.
Hello, you are able to hear me?
Yeah, Prem. Now.
Yes, sir, yes.
Yeah, actually I got disconnected. Okay, so so one way is working fine, search file is fine. We'll see, how we can enter the from and to location here,
So,
and we'll see, when that is.
Yeah, Prem. So what
Hello?
happens is when you, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you enter MAA, it goes down and searches for that airport and then enters. So probably a pause or something, or a wait is required there. Like type MAA, here, just type MAA.
Yeah, that I understood. That I understood. What I was okay. You are telling that the location it should take. You are telling, right?
Yeah. So when
but see here, when I type MAA and I maybe try to click here. See, it is taking Chennai. You see here, I don't have to go down and select Chennai. I don't have to click here.
I understood, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is the time to move, Blue Prism is moving very fast. So MAA, when it is being typed, it needs to give a pause there for 3 seconds, 4 seconds, or 5 seconds before it moves to the next one.
Is that the case? Because it is not. It should not be that case. Time is something, we'll see when it is navigating somewhere. For example, we are navigating from one tab to another. It may take a fraction of a second. Okay, fine. We'll consider that as well. Let's see. What is happening. I'm trying to let me just check it. MAA.
Because
from location.
Because what I think is when you input the name of the airport, it selects from the list of airport destinations it already has, and then inputs that value and then moves forward.
Yes. Okay, fine. We'll try that. We'll try that option first. Let me just initially. Let's do one thing. Let's try to run this in the slow mode. I'm just taking it the slow mode to just check if I can, see what is happening. Okay, so I'm running this in the slow mode. And okay, anyway, slow mode is not going to affect the website. So anyway, that's fine. Let's try to run in slow mode. And if you are saying what exactly is happening, that is the case. Okay, so clicked on one way. It is clicked there. From location, MAA is entered. To location, CCU is entered. Then search files. As you can see, it entered there, but it is not able to, fix it. It is entering, but it is not able to fix there. So what we'll do is that let me check what can be done. It is entering fine. Maybe after entering, if we pass an MAA.
If you pause, it should work.
No, I don't think if we pause it will work. So let's try to pause it, but I don't think that is the problem. So from location I enter. Let me, for example, wait for 2 seconds there, and after entering to location, I'll wait for 2 seconds. So guys, one more stuff here. To wait for something, you always use the wait stage. So this is a wait stage. So let's try what Arun is saying. So I am just waiting for 1 or 2 seconds after entering the from location into location. So from location I enter, then I'll wait for a few seconds, then I'll go to location. After entering to location, I'll again wait for 1 second, and again like this. So how will I wait for a few seconds? I have to configure here on the wait. So how many seconds I want? For example, 2 seconds I want to wait. And okay, this is a hard-coded value. Later we'll see the dynamic waiting. Okay, this is static waiting. Just understand. In this case only we are using. We'll see dynamic waiting also. Okay, so 2 seconds, and here we are using 2 seconds, and I'm just closing. So what I'm doing, I enter from location, waited 2 seconds, enter to location, waited 2 seconds, and then searching the flights. So let's run this. One way, it's waiting 2 seconds. You see there on the right side, timeout, to location, then CCU entering again 2 seconds, then search flight. So see, that is not the case. It still did that. What I believe the problem is that in the selection, if we write it here, it is working fine. Okay, so just give me a minute. What I'll do is, let me take a navigate stage here. Okay, just if we can press enter somehow, then it should work fine, I guess.
The person you are speaking with has put your call on hold. Please stay on the line. ನೀವು ಯಾವ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದೀರೋ ಅವರು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕರೆಯನ್ನು ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಲೈನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಿ. आप जिस व्यक्ति से बात कर रहे हैं उसने आपकी कॉल को होल्ड पे रखा है. कृपया लाइन पर बने रहें.
Hello, Prem. Guys, can you hear Prem?
No, I can't hear Prem as well. I think, he's calling somebody or he's on the second line.
Guys, anybody is already working on RPA in this group?
No, not
Hello?
Prem, you got
Hello?
disconnected. Sorry.
Sorry. I actually, someone else called me, but I disconnected her call, but I'm not sure, what happened. Okay. Anyway. So, what I will do is, I'll check this. Let me otherwise check for the last time, otherwise I'll just check this. So, what my plan here is, see, after entering, Kolkata here, what I want is, I want to press tab or enter. So, see, if I enter CCU and if I click tab, I'm clicking on tab, it is entering CCU. So, I want to enter the tab. So normally how we enter the tab or backspace or caps lock from the keyboard is basically we'll be using the navigate stage to do that, but that option is not coming. So using navigate stage, so if I take the from location, basically only these values are coming. Okay. So basically value should come for, no, it's not coming here. So there is something called global send key and global send key event where I can send a key. So if somewhere I'll be able to send something, then it will work. It is not sending. Okay. So anyway, what we can do otherwise is, wait, CCU. And click on way again here. So I'm just relying on something. The ideal way is to press the ideal way is to send the global key like tab or enter, but it is not working. So let's try to send the total text one, Kolkata CCU instead of CCU, and how that is turning up. I'll just remove this wait stage because these are not useful. Okay, let's try to run this. Otherwise, I'll try something else once again. And after that, if it doesn't work then also, then I'll see, at home only why it is not working. One way. Okay, so due to some reason it is searching for Bangalore and everywhere. However, the value it is entering. So let me do something else because I think that can be the way. So I'll just add another element called.
So is it something with respect to your cache and cookies that you're using on your Internet Explorer? Can be. Yeah, that can be
a reason, but that can happen with anyone, right? So okay, let me try this. Identify. I'll just take an intermediary state just to click on that, and let me see if what I feel is that is the reason. It's working fine then. So just click OK here. Path and input type I don't need. Apply OK. So once I enter Kolkata, I will just I enter Kolkata here. So what I will do is that okay, let me test something. Okay, CCU. Then I click on return. Then again one way. Okay, to location. Then this click one way. I am putting it a little bit lower. Okay, so cut and paste it here. Okay, so I'm not using that intermediary step that I have taken. So this one way. Okay, let's try to run now. So what I did is that from location to location I enter first, then I clicked on the one way, then searching sites. Let's see. Okay, my application will fail now because it took so much time to load the application and my application was not available. So understand this point. This is a very good point. My application took in this case my application took around 5-6 seconds to load, and by the time my application tried to load it, my Blue Prism was trying to enter the from location, but this field was not loaded into the page. Okay, when Blue Prism tried to enter the from location, this page was not loaded to the page only, so I got some error. I even could not search flight also. So I'll just use a static wait for now, and after this I'll just explain the dynamic wait. So what I'm doing, after launching the page, I'm just waiting for maybe 5 seconds. After that I will try to enter the from location. You got the point here, right? What I'm doing, this scenario.
Yes.
Okay, so let's run now. After launching, it will wait for around 5 seconds. Okay, it like rendered very fast now. So now it entered from location Kolkata to location. Now Switzerland one way. Okay, but somehow it is resetting to. I'm not sure what is happening. It is just resetting to Bangalore and everywhere. So I need to check that what exactly is happening. It is entering fine. It is entering fine here and here, but resetting it automatically. Okay, so not exactly sure why.
That's an issue with the website.
Let me just clear the cache and check.
No, the issue cannot be there with the website because Skyscanner is
No, the issue is not with the website, not at all, because these are the. It is something I'm not sure. It is entering fine here. When searching flight, it is resetting it to this one. So wait.
Can you try and do it manually once without using?
Manually, it works fine, right? We checked it manually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Application already launched. So okay, so there is one more way we can do, but that is not the way we should do. I will see why it is not happening, because it is entering everything fine. Not sure what is the issue here. Okay, so wait, Bangalore. It's writing fine here. Okay, so there can be another way, but that is a completely wrong way. I'll check this. What error it is getting into, why it is not keeping the value. If okay. Not exactly sure what is happening. Okay, I'll check this, and I'll let you know why it is happening like this. Okay. So just give me a minute. We wasted a lot of time here. Okay, fine. So I'll see, what exactly is happening. The thing is that we are able to, enter everything fine, and but not sure, somehow it is resetting the value automatically, and I need to check that basically why it is happening. So if you want, you can check that today. This is very simple. Like, entering and everything is very simple. Why this value is getting reset automatically? If you want, you can check. What I would try to most probably do here is, I will try to, add some tabbing feature. So after entering CCU, I'm not able to press tab here. So if I can press tab here, most probably this value will remain same. But again, that is also, I'm not sure, I have to test that. Okay. So I'll just take this today, and I'll let you know if I find some solution. For that also, for the time being, let me explain that the weight that we have seen. So as you see, once the website took a lot of time to launch, okay, it took around 5 seconds, but sometimes it is taking 1 second, sometimes it may take 10 seconds. So we cannot put a static value here. It doesn't make sense to put 5, 10 here, because we don't know how much time it will take, and we do not know what will be the speed of the internet. Sometimes the internet may be fast, and that time it may load get faster. Sometimes the web server in the website may be faster, and it will load faster. So what we need is, we need to find a way where we can tell Blue Prism that as soon as this field gets visible, then load, write into it. Instead of waiting for 5 seconds or 10 seconds, then writing to this field, if we can tell that in this page, as soon as this from fields get visible, then directly write on to this page. So if the from field get visible in 1 microsecond, it will enter. If it is 2 seconds, it will enter. 5 seconds, it will wait till 5 seconds. So based on the time it will take to load the from location, that way it will wait for that amount of time. Okay, so that is called dynamic wait. So what we have implemented here, this is called static wait, where no matter what, we are waiting for 10 seconds or 5 seconds. So we are going to use the dynamic stage for that, where we are telling that as soon as the from location gets visible in the screen, just write to the from location field. So how to implement dynamic stage, dynamic wait? Double click on the wait stage, and here condition. Here what we are telling is that as soon as the from field gets loaded onto the screen, write on the from stage. So the dynamic field that we are checking upon, the field we are checking upon to be visible is the from. So I'll drag and drop the from stage, and condition is check exist. Okay. So if it exists, then write. Otherwise, do not write. So if it exists in 1 microsecond, it will write. If it exists in 2 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever time it takes to load the application, that time it will exist and it will load. And if it cannot, so this time we'll put as 10 seconds. What we are telling is that if it cannot load till 10 seconds, just terminate the application. Okay. So wait till 10 seconds. Within that 10 seconds, whenever it finds, just write it. And click OK here. When you implement the dynamic wait, you'll get this button here, this kind of circular button, which is the which tells that at this point the field got visible. So we need to connect this to this point. And basically in timeout, if it could not be loaded till 10 seconds, we'll take the use of some exception handling basically. So in real case, in ideal scenario, we'll be using exception handling. But as of now, let's not go ahead with exception handling. Instead of that, let's put a calculation stage and stage. And I'll just write it here. It's a data item. So we'll cover the exception handling maybe tomorrow or next class. And here to the text, I'll just write that timeout error. Okay. So what I'm doing is that if till 10 seconds it is not loaded, I'm just using a calculation stage to populate the data item with an error message like timeout and ending the process. Otherwise, if it is loaded in between somewhere, I'm just continuing to the from location and from check exist, and I'm continuing with the flow. Okay. This part you are able to understood, right? The dynamic wait and static wait. It's an important question. What is static wait and what is dynamic wait? What is the difference? So this is the answer. Okay. And this part I will see why it is not sticking with the value. And there are other options as well, but those I would not prefer in Blue Prism. For example, if the requirement is immediate and if you fall into such requirement, what you can do is that if you know what exact value you are entering here, for example, CCU and then CH, and then CH is Switzerland, right? And we are searching the flights. Okay, we're searching flights. So when we search flight, the URL gets changed. So for example, if I take the URL from here and if I paste the URL, as you can see here, skyscanner.in transport flight, CCU is the location of Chennai, CH is for this Switzerland. Okay, so what I can do, as a like if the requirement is immediate, and this is not the ideal way, and you should not follow this practice, I can take this as a string and I can use the replace string function here. I have the text and replace, and I can replace the text here. We have the text, whatever we have, the total text I can take, replace M with 2 here. So here I will replace, for example, CCU with whatever I want, Bangalore, BLR, and I'll take CH, replace CH with, for example, Chennai. So CH to MAA, and this one, if I paste it into the browser, I'm not much sure. I'm just trying it for the first time. Let's try here. This is not the ideal scenario. I'm just trying an alternative if something like this is possible. It will search from Bangalore to Chennai. Okay, you can see here Bangalore to Chennai. It searched all the flights from Bangalore to Chennai because we changed the URL. So, I will try the best way. I will try the best practice that we follow. Otherwise, what I can do is that, I can take the generic parameter. What we are doing here is we are entering CCU here, entering CH here, and then clicking on the button, right? So that button is generating a URL. Okay, so instead of that, this URL is going to be common, every time. And this URL is not going to change. Only thing dynamic is the from location, and then to location, how many people are traveling, how many adults, how many children, and then that's it. Okay, and this is 1 second, and this is the date. You see here. Do you see a pattern here? 18/7/26 means 26 of the date, 7th is the month, and 18 is the 2018. So you can see here 26/7/2018. So these are my dynamic part. Bangalore to Chennai, the date, how many adults are traveling, how many children are traveling, and all of that, and how many infants, and cabin class is economy. And so I can make it dynamic completely, and I can just go ahead and navigate to this by doing string operation, by using the text operation here. This stage, by replacing something with my destination and my date and the from location, I can make it completely dynamic, the URL, and navigate to that. That will give me the completely same page. But again, this is not the best practice we follow, but this is one of the way. If some requirement is immediate, you can follow this practice. Otherwise, this is not the best practice. The best practice is to enter here, then click on the button and then get it and whatever you want. But this is also one of the way. So, however, I will just try and see why this value is not getting, static here, why the values are getting changed, and I'll let you know if I find some solution. Okay. Anything? Any doubts? Anything you want to talk about this particular stuff that we have discussed or the wait stage? Let me know.
So you were going to show this dynamic timeout with the errors frame.
Sorry?
No, you are going to show this.
The dynamic, we have already made it dynamic. The wait time, we have already made it dynamic. This is the dynamic time. Okay. So if it is load at any time, it will load. The errors part, we'll remove the error and we'll implement the exception handling. Okay.
Okay.
This is not the ideal way. This is just, I showed it intermediately because we won't have time to discuss exception handling today, exception, recover, and resume state. So we'll talk about exception, in which cases we should implement exception, then what are the different types of exception, how to recover from an exception. We'll discuss everything. Okay, so we'll discuss that. But let's see, let's hope this gets fixed. And why these values are getting reset automatically, I'll see that. Okay, any other doubts?
No, as of now, no frame.
Okay. Okay, so if you don't have anything to discuss, we can stop the class from here and we'll discuss tomorrow. I'll see,
version 6.
Sorry?
Version 6 executable. Is it uploaded?
Yeah, I have uploaded that.
Okay, sorry, I must have misnoted. What's the naming convention for that? Is it just Blue Prism, right?
Yeah, Blue Prism version 6 only. So let me show you that. That is there, okay. So maybe you did not check within the last 2 days. You checked that?
No, the last I checked it on Wednesday when you uploaded the video.
Yeah, I have uploaded that. The folder name is BP 6.2. You can take that, and to run that you have to install this software. Otherwise that will not work because there is some issue with the license. It does not set your date automatically actually. So you have to install this software, run as date, go there and download this one. Download run as date. Okay. You download this software, run as date software, and after you download that, when you open it, it will look like this. Here in the exe file, you have to provide the C drive path here. The path of the C drive, sorry, the path of the Blue Prism, C program files, Blue Prism, something you have to provide, and the date you have any format date in 2017. Just provide a date here, for example, 1st February 2017, and run it. Okay, you have to click on run or run as administrator option will come, run, and it will work fine. Okay, use this software to run version 6 if any of you are trying to do that. So basically again, I guess I have provided the license file with the version 6 as well. If that license file is not there, you can use the same license file of version 5, so it will work fine. Okay. Otherwise, if license is there, use that. I guess it is there, so use that. Otherwise, use the license of version 5. Okay. Okay then, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll continue from here tomorrow. Thanks then.
Prem.
Anything else? If anyone, yeah.
Yeah, Prem, can you help me with that virtual machine? Probably say tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whenever you're free.
So virtual machine, you have to download a very large file. There is so once you download, then only I can help you in that.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, it is of no use. Installing the VM software is 2 minutes. You have to go to Oracle VirtualBox and you have to download a very small software. But once you download that, you have to import the VM file, and that VM file I have uploaded that. So you have to download it from here, Windows, and just download. It got downloaded. Okay, I'm just cancelling it, and that's it. So VirtualBox is very easy to install. I can help you once you download the file that I have provided. I'm not sure if I have provided to you guys. Otherwise, I'll send the link again, and you can put it in download tonight. And I'm not sure how your laptop will work with the VM, because it will take a good amount of RAM and hard disk. So you can try it. You can try to import, and we'll see. Okay.
Yeah,
it is a 16 GB file.
I was trying on the second laptop that I have, which is 8.1. So I wanted to try on that one. That has a lot of space and a lot of.
Okay. So what I will do is that I will send you this one link. I'll send, and you can download it. Some night tonight or this weekend, and we can set it up.
Yeah, the reason for that is on Windows 8.1 I don't want to install Blue Prism and because that might not work. So on that machine I want to probably try. Understood.
So yes. Windows 8 basically, people what I have experienced from my last batch, they feel some problem regarding the SQL Server configuration. They run into some problem. So there are solution for that, but again it is better to import the VM. Okay. Okay then, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you, Prem. Bye.
Yeah.